بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala has given us the tawfiq to come to the house of Allah. Indeed, this is how a person values his time. If you look during the course of a day, 24 hours, how many of those minutes or hours are given to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how many of those are spent in our own pursuits of dunya, and where we don't realize the asset, valuing the asset of time. If you look into the past, if you study the pages of history, you will realize that through valuing and utilizing time properly and efficiently, success is achieved. Anyone you look in the world, whoever's acquired success in any field, in any profession, they've only acquired success and falah and najat and fawz only through utilizing and valuing the time Allah Ta'ala has given them. So this is a common factor found in the lives of every single person who wants to acquire success in anything. Any example a person can take in terms of dunya or deen, when a person commits himself to something, he can only acquire goodness and success in that particular field if he understands the importance of time attached to that. For example, somebody who is committed to become physically fit and to get a nice fit body, they don't care about anything. They'll sacrifice their food, their comfort, their rahat, their sleep, just to attain a good physically fit body. I was talking with one person yesterday, and I'm sitting in the masjid, this is no exaggeration. He said, I spoke with him and I said, oh mashallah, you're looking quite fit. He said, yes Mawlānā, my routine is every morning I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning to do 1 hour cardio. Allahu Akbar. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning to do 1 hour running. So therefore, when a person realizes that I want to achieve something, then when his mind is focused towards any one aspect which he seems is success. Now for this person, success is to get a nice, fit, strong body. So because he's attached his importance to that, he's utilized the time and efficiency in trying to acquire that goal. So 4 o'clock for him waking up in the morning is like going for a walk in the park. So when a person wants to achieve something, he puts sacrifice behind it and he utilizes the time in acquiring that, so he will acquire success. Anyone in any walk of, in any form of job he may be in, if he realizes the importance of that aspect, he will make his time, he will allocate time for that in trying to acquire success. Similarly, because our topic is not regarding people of the world, but we are trying to realize the importance of time so we can have success in the hereafter, inshallah. Allah give us all of us tawfiq. That is why the value of time in the eyes of the pious people can be appreciated from looking into the lives of Akabir. Hazrat Mawlānā Ilyāsa rahmatullahi waking up 2 o'clock in the morning and he is walking from this end of the masjid to that end of the masjid. Somebody asked him, Hazrat, what are you doing? He said, I have got some free time now, but I am trying to do mashq and practice the walking method of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They realize the importance of this. So waking up 2 o'clock in the morning and begin to practice how the Prophet used to walk was easy for them. There's one of our Akabir, Hazrat Mawlānā Rashid Ahmad Sahib Gangohi rahmatullah. He was so dedicated to acquiring ilm and deen that his sister, when he used to be studying, it is mentioned in kitabs, many kitabs, that she used to make a pot of food and she used to put it next to him here. And he used to be studying, reading books, writing. So his food was next to him here on a plate. So while studying, he used to just take a luqma and eat. And he was again mustaghraq, drowned in the pursuit of knowledge and acquiring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whilst he used to be eating, they say a cat used to come and eat the food from that plate. And he wouldn't know. This is how much he was engrossed in his studies. So he would take 1 or 2 bites and he would continue working, and then he would look again and see the plate is finished. He would read his dua of food and put the plate to the side and continue studying again. Only when his sister saw him, she said, do you know what is happening? He said, what is happening? She said, there is a cat that comes and eats your food. He said, oh, I never realized, I'm so busy inside my studies. So this is when they realized, and that's why he became Shaykh al-Asr, Imam al-Asr. Hadrat Mawlānā Sājid Ahmad Sahib Gangohi rahmatullah said regarding him, if the whole of fiqh Hanafi was to be destroyed and burnt and put away, as long as Mawlānā Sājid Ahmad Sahib Gangohi is alive, there's nothing to worry about, because he will write it all again from scratch. This is how much. Such a great person. The Shaykh of Mawlānā Khalil Ahmad Saharanpuri, the Shaykh of Hadrat Mawlānā Yahya Sahib, the Shaykh of Hadrat Mawlānā Ilyas Sahib rahmatullah, how much they benefited from this one man, and how he realized the importance of his time. He became, I'm going off my topic, but he came blind in his old age as well. Why did he become blind? His mother gave him a green shawl when he graduated, and he used to take his green shawl and he used to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock for tahajjud. And from his home he used to go to the masjid, and he used to close the masjid door, and he used to be alone, the lights off. He used to sit in the masjid and do his dhikr bil jahr. Those who have a shaykh, they have different medicines of dhikr. So one dhikr he would do, and it felt as though the whole masjid would be vibrating. And he had a green shawl, and they say after a few months, when they looked at that shawl, it had become completely white. He cried so much, and he used to wipe his tears so much, the color from the green cloth disappeared, and it became white. And he became blind for the last 12 years of his life. But the importance he attached, and he also became a shaheed. He got bit by a poisonous snake. He didn't even read. He was going for Fajr, and the way going, his khadim was taking him. He got bit in the night at Tahajjud. He didn't even realize, he didn't even feel the pain of the poison, or of the venom, or the sting of the serpent or the snake. And he's walking inside the masjid. So his khadim said, Hadar, you have blood on your shalwar. He says, check what has happened. They say, Hadar, you have been bit by a poisonous snake. He says, I was in my tahajjud prayer, I didn't feel anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing of any sort I felt. Then this later on led to poison spreading in his body, and he became shaheed because of this. And another reason why I read elsewhere, going off my topic, but is also important, why he became blind, is he had so much adab for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for Haram Sharif Makkah, and for the city of Medina Munawwara. I'll just mention 1 or 2 parts of his adab, so we can also create adab inside us. Somebody once bought him a shawl as a gift from Medina Sharif. Somebody went for Umrah or Hajj, and they bought for him a parna, a shawl. They said, Hazrat, we have bought a gift for you. So he took it and he kissed it, put it on his eyes, he hugged it, and he's given it great adab. So one person sitting said, Hazrat, ye to made in China hai. It is made in China, itna adab ki zarurat nahi hai, Medina Sharif ka to nahi bana hua. It's not made in Medina, it is made in China. So he said, what do you realize? Isko Medina Sharif ki hawa to lagi hui hai. The wind of Medina has touched this scarf. I am respecting it for this reason. How much adab he had. So once they bought him some khajur from Medina Sharif, and they gave him 3 khajur, only 3 khajur. So he was sitting in a bayan, and he had over 70 to 80 people in the bayan. So he called one khadim, give these 3 khajur of Medina, nobody should be deprived from there. Make these into such pieces that every single person here, the 80 people sitting here, will also get some barakat of the dates of Medina Sharif. And he made them into such small pieces, and he gave everyone. And one person said, Hazrat, why are you doing so much exaggeration? He said, you get out of my majlis. Never come back to my majlis ever again. If you have no other for the city of Medina Sharif, you should be sitting with me. So, one of the reasons why he became blind, it is mentioned in Kitabs, I was reading a few days ago, that there was a Silab, a Tufan once in Haram Sharif, Makkah, because Makkah, Haram Sharif is inside a valley. They have all mountains, Jabal Qais and Jabal Umar, etc., all around. So Makkah, the actual Kaaba Sharif is in a valley. When it rains, it floods quickly. That's why you see pictures, it's always flooding when it rains. Now they have a great system, so the water seeps down. Otherwise, it would flood. People would even swim, mashallah, and make dua. You may have seen some of the pictures. So once there was a Silab, and there was a hurricane, and there was a pillar, and you had the Maqam Ibrahim. Those who have seen Maqam Ibrahim, the golden case inside where there's a pathar in which Ibrahim al-Islam's 2 footprints are found. It's called Maqam Ibrahim. That rock which was used in an elevator that used to lift Ibrahim al-Islam up to build the Kaaba, then come back down. It's put there, and they had a case around it. So this pillar fell, and it's crushed on top of the Maqam Ibrahim, and this rock of Maqam Ibrahim, it fell out and broke. some of the fragments came off, the brittle, etc., some of it came off, and it fell onto the floor. So quickly the shurata came and the big sheikh came, and he carefully collected all of those pieces again. What he could join, he joined again. And some pieces, he said, what I will do is, I will invite the big mashayikh, the big buzurgs, and I will give them all a small piece each. As barakah, because this is that same rock from thousands of years ago of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Imagine the barakah inside. It's mentioned in the Quran Sharif as well. وَاتَّخِذُوا مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. It's mentioned in the Quran Sharif. So one small piece came to Hazrat Mawlānā Sājid Irshād Gangohi rahmatullahi alayhi. So he used to every so often take it out, look at it, kiss it, and put it there, and make dua to Allah as tabarruk. So over time, some of the rock began to come off, erode from there. So when some of the brittle it came off, so he got them together, he crushed them, and he got a surma dani, the needle, and he mixed it together, and he put it into his eyes as surma. Out of adab for maqam Ibrahim, and this ta'alluq with Baytullah, and this ta'alluq with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This resulted in him becoming blind. So he said, I'd rather become blind, but I will not show any bi'adabi to anything associated to the Baytullah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that came in my mind, I mentioned. So Hazrat, what the actual topic was, Hazrat Imam Khalid ibn Ahmad used to say, أَثْقَلُ السَّاعَاتِ عَلَيَّ سَاعَةٌ آكُلُ فِيهَا. The most difficult time in my life is when I have to sit down to eat food, because I'm wasting time eating food. Time is so precious, I have no time to even eat food. That's the most difficult time upon me. The great Mufassir Imam Fakhruddin al-Razi, rahmatullahi alayhi, even though he wrote 200 books for the ummah, he would say, Wallahi, Allah's qasam, inni ata'assafu fil fawati al-ishtighali bil-ilmi fi waqt al-akli fa inna al-waqta waz-zamanu azizun. I swear by Allah, Allah's qasam, I feel so much remorse from being deprived of academic engagement during the time I need to eat. I'm writing and I'm studying and I'm researching and I'm compiling books, but when the time comes to eat, I feel so much remorse. This is because time is indeed a great asset. Dekho kitna, when you waqt ka unhe istihzar tha, how much they realize. And what do? Hours and hours we waste. We'll go here from home after Isha, we'll sit down on YouTube on the TV, and 2-3 hours have gone just like this. And we don't even realize how important my time is. Those 3 hours, 2 hours could be the deciding factor for me and you to enter inside paradise. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to realize this. Balki, some people actually feel regret over time being wasted. Some people don't. I have seen very closely, and not just once, many times, the brothers present here, our Shaykh Mawlānā Sājid Irshād, Allah's qasam, you will see people who have seen him as well, not a single second of his is wasted. And those who have seen him will know, not a single second is wasted. And he says, every majlis I do, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 1,000 people, 5,000 people, 50 people, I feel this is the last talk of my life. So the last talk, I make it the best talk of my life. So, and each person will come to him, he'll give them a different nasihat, and he says, it could be the last nasihat of my life, so I have to give it fully, with full ikhlas, full attentiveness, with full dedication. This is just that aspect. And other aspects, time doesn't allow to go into there. So, one group, they actually feel regret when time is passing by, and some people like me, ample time goes by, but we don't. And then we'll say, "Bhai, mere paas time nahi hai." We say, "Bhai, have you prayed the Quran today?" "Mere paas time nahi hai." "What are you doing from now till midnight?" "Nothing. I'm going to go on YouTube, watch a few videos, watch a few pranks, or listen to some music, or play some games." And we think this is fine. And when it's time to pray Quran, I'm ill, I can't pray, this is the problem, that's the problem. Then we have 1,000 excuses. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to realize this. And this is, the problem is, we're not even aware that I'm wasting time. That is why in Jannat they say, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in Jannat, after granted all the blessings of Jannat, the only one hasrat and remorse a person will feel is the time they had wasted in this world. لَيْسَ يَتَحَسَّرُ أَهْلُ الْجَنَّةِ إِلَّا عَلَى سَاعَةٍ مَرَّتْ بِهِمْ لَمْ يَذْكُرِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. The people of Jannat, after entering Jannah, will not have any remorse except that I wish we had spent more time in the world remembering Allah, talking about Allah, talking with Allah, talking about Allah, making dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because it could be, Jannat has many levels. You may be on the 15th level. To get to the 16th level, it might have been that you needed 2-3 more subhanallahs in your life. So this hasra will remain with the person. And the 16th person level will be much, much higher than the 15th person. and so on and so forth. And then the one on the 16th, he can come down to the 15th one and meet him, but the 15th one can't go up to the 16th because his a'mal don't take him there. So he will regret that as well. And that's why Imam Shafi'i would say, rahmatullahi alayh, he would say, he's got many great sayings. One of his sayings was, Al-waqtu sayfun, time is a sword. Iqata'hu wa illa qata'ak. Cut it by utilizing it in good deeds, otherwise it will definitely cut you. 70 years have passed by, I still haven't learned Surah Fatiha Tarjama. What have I done with 70 years? But 70 years, you say any country in the world and say, bhai is par kuch tabsira kar lo, oh, Allama Sahib. He will tell you so much about this and happening in this part of the world, and this part of the world, and this part. And mujhe khud taajjub hota hai. Many people, you sit with people at times, when you travel here and there, and they will begin talking on politics. And when you think, yaar, where does this person get the time to study so much on siyasat? How could he know every single person's name? He knows every single person who sits in the cabinet, in the House of Lords, in the House of Commons. Where does he get time for all these names? How much time has he got on his hands that he can memorize all these names? And they say, "Bhai, can you name me 5 Sahaba?" Oh, no, I haven't got time. I'm so busy, I haven't got time to learn 5 names Sahaba. This is our condition. And that's why Rasulullah said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's successful? Aliman bi amril akhirah wa jahilan bi amril dunya. The person who is jahil in the dunya, meaning he doesn't know. If there's 5 people sitting down talking about Iran, Turan, Pakistan, he doesn't know anything. Alhamdulillah, he doesn't know anything about it because he's not bothered. He's not inclined. But when you start topic of deen, he will show you what a lion he can be. He will tell you what is qabr, what is qiyamah, what is hashr, what is pul sirat, what you need to take with you, how are you successful. Rasulullah says, this person is successful. You can have knowledge so much. It won't take a person anywhere. Itni hoshiari maro. How much talks, how much people you bring in your halaqah to talk with them about siyasat, and this person, in the eyes of Allah, it doesn't mean anything. It's only hasrat on the day of qiyamah. So that's why people who value time, look at this one example here, Hazrat mentions, Umar ibn Abdul Qais would say, when somebody said, Hazrat, I want to talk with you, he would say, wait, stop the sun. Suraj ko rok do, stop the sun in its orbit for a while, only then I will sit down and talk with you. Meaning, I haven't got time to talk with you. Life is so short, I've got so much to do. Are you telling me to talk with you? I haven't got time to talk. If you want to discuss deen and muzakara and imaniyat, we'll talk. This is ibadah. Otherwise, sitting down, gupshup, I haven't got time for this. And that's why one qissa comes to my mind, a deep qissa. Imam Hasan al-Basri, rahmatullahi alayh, he once proposed to Rabia Basriya, rahmatullahi alayh. Rabia Basriya, waqt ki waliya. Imam Hasan al-Basri, zamane ke bade kutub abdal mein se. The qissa is a very mashhur, many qissas. Once Imam Hasan al-Basri, he had his musalla out and he was praying namaz in the air. And he was just praying salah. And Rabia Basriya went and she saw him and they said, look, that's where you call a bazurg. She was giving me a musalla. She took a musalla, she put it on the water. Allahu Akbar, Sajid her namaz. And after she finished, the people all said, oh look, she's also a great lady. She said, oh Hassan, what's so great about this? You hovering in the air praying namaz, me praying namaz in water, bhai. Birds fly in the sky, fishes swim in the sea. What's the big difference? Main is following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So I said regarding her, so Imam Hasan al-Basri was very, she's a great lady, I wish to marry her, I wish for her to be my wife, together we can work together and acquire the Jannat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was a great buzurg of his time, he was the Khalifa of Imam Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu. And he got his name by Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, and he was breastfed by the wife of Rasulullah, Salama radiallahu anha. So imagine how great this person, Hazrat Hassan was. His name was given also by Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. Tahniq was also given by Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. So when he would give a bayan, he would have thousands of people sitting. So he would say, now I'm going to tell you something that all of you will understand. Then he would say something. Then he would stop and say, now I will say something else that only the ulama will understand. Then he would say something. Then he would say, now I will say something that only those who are in tasawwuf and who are arif billah, who are close to Allah, they will understand. Then he would stop. Then he would say, only those who are elite, high levels of awliya, they will understand. So people would think, which level? Then he would say, now I will say something that only Rabia Basriya will understand. And she will be behind the parda sitting in the women's section. Meaning, this is how high she was in her status and maqam with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said to her, oh Rabia, I wish to marry you. She said, okay, fine. But if you can answer my 4 questions, I will marry you. He said, okay, what? And he was a big alim. So he said, yes, ask me, what are the 4 questions? He said, number 1, will I die on Iman? He said, I don't know. Okay. Number 2, will I receive my book of deeds in my right hand? He said, I don't know. Okay. Number 3, will I cross the Pul Sirat? He said, I don't know. Okay. Number 4, will I enter Jannah or will I enter Jahannam? He said, Rabia, I'd have no answers to your questions. He said, well, if you haven't got the answers to my questions, and I also haven't got the answers to my questions, then I'm sorry, Hassan, I haven't got no time to marry you. Time is too precious. I'm looking, my life is being spent in search of these 4 answers. The answers to these questions. You haven't got the answers, I haven't got the answers. Please, maaf kijiye, I can't marry you. Let me busy myself in finding the answers for this. And then she lived her life, and this is how she passed away. However, when she passed away, you know, there's many qissas regarding the one qissa for my benefit and all of us. Hassan al-Basri came to visit her just a few hours before she was about to die. She was in parda, so he came next to her outside the parda, outside her. He came inside the room, parda was there. He said, oh Rabia, you know, we know that you are going to pass away now and you're going to meet Allah. Is there anything left of this world that you desire? So look what she said. She said, yes, I have punished my nafs for the last 30 years that I will never eat grapes in my life. Now I'm passing away, I wish to eat some grapes. Bring me some grapes. So for 30 years, she said, I punished my nafs, I will not allow you to eat grapes. You have to worship Allah and strictly worship Allah. I will not allow you any enjoyment in eating grapes. So he said, okay, I will find them for you, no problem. Now it wasn't even the season of grapes. So Hazrat Hassan came out of the room and he said, oh Allah, she's your waliullah. You know it's not the season of grapes. And I know I can't get the grapes. And she wants these, only you can provide. Itne mein, a crow flying overhead came next to Imam Hassan Basri and dropped the bunch of grapes inside his hand. And it flew off. He took the grapes. And he knew this is direct from Allah. He went back in the room, said to her Khadima, tell her that Allah has provided the grapes for her. From inside she said, okay, Jazakallah, but I have one question. Which garden did the crow get these grapes from? And who is the owner of that garden? And did the crow or anyone get permission from the owner of that garden that I'm taking grapes from you? I said, Rabia, how do I know? Well, if you don't know, I'm sorry, I can't eat those grapes. Take them away. Her level of taqwa. And then he said, okay, I will take them. So just as he walked out of the room, the reason why I'm mentioning is how a person values his time or her time. As he walked out of the room, from inside he heard a voice saying, Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan maradiyya, fadkhuli fi ibadi, wadkhuli jannati. He heard a voice of an angel saying, oh pleased soul, leave everything, now you can go back to Allah and enter inside the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then she was buried. And there's many qissas, but I mentioned one more qissa regarding her, so our benefit in all of us. When she was buried inside the qabr, this is found in many books and many ulama have mentioned this. Munki Nakir came to her. Munki Nakir came and they asked her, oh Rabia, Mar Rabbuki, who is your Rabb? Tell us who is your Rabb. So she said, 1 second. You asking me who my Rabb is? First tell me, where have you come from? So we have come from, how far is the distance? Oh, this many 100,000 million miles and light years and ye wo pehla asman, dusra asman, 500 years, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh asman. I said, okay, so you came that massive distance. Yes. During the course of this distance, did you forget who your Rabb is? Coming from there with the hukum to question me, did you forget who your Rabb was? I said, how? No, we haven't forgot our Rabb. She said, how far have I come down? I was on top of the ground. I only went 4 feet inside the ground. Do you think I have forgotten my Rabb? If you've come from millions of miles away and so many years away and you didn't forget your Rabb, I've only gone 4 feet down. How can I forget my Rabb? Go away from here. And they left her qabr. This was her maqam. So one person came to her qabr once and he stood there and made dua and he said, oh Rabia, when you was alive you used to make lots of bold claims, this and this and this and that. I wish I would know what's happening with you. From inside the qabr he heard a voice saying, may Allah grant me barakah in those things which Allah is showing Rabia right now. Meaning the Jannah that I have acquired, may Allah grant me barakah inside this. So a person who utilizes his time Allah grants them honor like this. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to realize these points and learn from their life. So time is passing by finishing off now. It's an asset which has to, we have to utilize it before it finishes. That's why one Buzurg said, Ke ho rahi hai umar, misle baraf kam, chupke chupke, rafta rafta, dam badam. Life is passing by like the melting of ice, very quietly, slowly, slowly, breath by breath. हमने देखा होगा हमारे मुल्कों में, I've seen myself in a hot day in Pakistan, you have a guy with a block of ice selling it. And you see his bechani, you see how agitated he is, because that's how he's going to earn some money and feed his family in the night. He's got a block of ice and he's got like a chisel or a hammer, and he's going around, bhai mujhse baraf le lo, mujhse baraf le lo, mujhse baraf le lo. And if nobody buys it for him, he won't be able to feed his family in the night. So he's running everywhere frantically here, there, and the ice is melting. So similarly, the poet says, your life and my life is similarly. We have a big block of ice in our life. Eventually it is melting away, slowly but surely. If I realize now it's being melted, quickly you do something good with the ice, put it inside a drink, utilize it, make something out of it, you'll benefit. If I let the ice melt, life will finish, breath by breath. And this is happening to all of us today. Allah give us tawfiq to realize. And one of the poet says here, कि गाफिल तुझे गरियाल ये देता है मुनादी, गर्दों ने घड़ी उम्र की एक और घटा दी. Or neglectful one, the clock is giving you this call. The seconds of the clock have reduced your life a little more. Every second going past is giving us a पैगाम के भाई ओ गाफिल, 1 second more of your life has gone from your life. अब तो कुछ कर लो. That's why Imam Hassan Basri would say, Ya ibn Adam, innama anta ayyam, O son of Adam, you are but a collection of days. فَإِذَا ذَهَبَ يَوْمٌ ذَهَبَ بَعْدُكَ. When a part of your days go, part of your life also goes. The final point, a day that has passed will never return. Look, today is the 12th of the 12th of the 18th. This day will never come back. Even if I spend the whole of my riches, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man istata'a an ya'mala khayran, every morning at sunrise, the day it speaks and says, oh, whoever can do a good deed today should go for it. فَإِنِّي غَيْرُ مُكَرَّرٍ عَلَيْكُمْ بَعْدَ عَلَيْكُمْ أَبَدًا, for I will never return to you ever again. This day will never come back. What's gone is gone. I can only work for tomorrow. So every day I should feel as though it's my last day, and work as hard as I can and try to utilize my time and not to waste a single moment, but make every single second precious. That's what Imam Ghazali would say, कि, O son of Adam, your every breath is a precious jewel, such a jewel that no wealth of this earth can buy. So utilize every second properly, make it profitable, and utilize it in acquiring the qurb of Allah. And life is very short. Because the previous ummats was 1,000 years, 1,200 years, 500 years. The Prophet said, Umur ummati baina sittin wa sab'in. My ummat will live between 60 and 70. This is the average lifespan. Rasulullah lived for 63. Abu Bakr Siddiq 63. Hadrat Umar 63. Hadrat Aisha 63. Many of the Sahaba between 60 and 70. This is the age that they lived, and between this age they died. So I have no guarantee I will live past 60 or 70. Anyone who is living past 70, this is fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah has given you bonus years now. Now do something more. Don't become lazy or sus, or amal. Do as much as you can. And that's what Bahadur Shah Zafar Sahab rahmatullahi used to say, कि उम्र दराज मांग कर लाए थे 4 दिन, 2 आरज़ू में कट गए, 2 इंतजार में. That after asking for a long life, oh Allah give me a long life, oh Allah give me a long life, you came with a short life. Half was spent in aspirations and the other half in waiting. कि Allah मुझे ये भी अता कर दे, Allah मुझे ये भी अता कर दे, me waiting, मुझे मिलेगा, मुझे मिलेगा. Aspiration, waiting, the whole life, the packet of life is finished. So Allah Ta'ala give me the tawfiq. Allah Ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to realize the importance of this. There's another Arabic poet here, is par khatam karta hu. Very important, famous, I think Khwaja Hassan Sahab Majzoob qawl or somebody else's, कि तुझे पहले बचपन ने बरसों खिलाया, जवानी ने फिर तुझको मजनू बनाया, बुढ़ापे ने फिर आके क्या क्या सताया, अजल तेरा कर देगी बिल्कुल सफाया. Ajal means death. जगह जी लगाने की दुनिया नहीं है, ये इबरत की जाहे तमाशा नहीं है. Meaning this life, it's a place to take lessons. It's not a place of entertainment or tamasha. I hope that it finishes off by saying, before death strikes, we need to value our life, make a resolve from today that inshallah we will no longer waste our time, not even a single second in futile acts, and that we will invest every second in doing beneficial actions. May Allah Ta'ala give me the tawfiq. Allah Ta'ala give all of us tawfiq inshallah. to make amal upon what has been said and heard. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله عليه وسلم وما علينا إلا البلاغ. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين.